G'day, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Mindful Men podcast. I'm your host, Simon Rinnie, and today we're getting mindful about starting the new year with clearer focus. And for many, the new year brings about this thing called New Year's resolutions. And I've been there and I've tried resolutions such as getting fit or losing weight. I think I've been in one where I've wanted to change jobs or being more positive, being the best version of myself. And despite all the good intentions, that resolution tends to fall flat after a while. We give it our best for a few weeks, maybe even a few months, but then ultimately it all falls down and we kind of revert back into the way that we were going about life before the holiday period. And maybe it's served us. Maybe we've done some good things in that first few days or weeks or months of the new year. And we're feeling good after the holiday period. It's warmer weather here in Australia, so everyone's out and about. Everyone's feeling good. It's that whole reverting back to the old ways that can bring us down. Or maybe we get a week in or a few days in and we've tried our best to diet or give up alcohol and it just hasn't worked. And we start to feel pretty shitty about ourselves. We think that we're failures, or we start to give up on bettering ourselves as well. Maybe we did this last year and the year before and the year before, and we ultimately think, why am I bothering with this New Year resolution bullshit, essentially? If this is you, I want you to stop, and maybe this episode is a prompt to stop, and recognize that you're not a failure. What you're doing is you're learning. Maybe you're learning that New Year's resolutions aren't for you. Maybe you're learning that your intentions need a bit of fine tuning, or maybe your expectations need some fine tuning. We've all been there and gone, I want to lose 10 kilos in the first month, and losing 10 kilos of weight is really hard. So maybe we might go to a really strict diet and see some initial results, but ultimately we get hungry or crabby or angry or whatever. I like to call it hangry because the hunger just takes over us. So maybe it's not so much what we're trying to achieve, it's just our expectations on how quickly that change is going to happen. So in today's episode, we're going to try and help you to kick off the new year with clearer focus. And we're going to do this with mindfulness-based tool, as in setting smart goals. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're like, oh, this is not a mindfulness tool. What it actually is, tuning into our goals using mindfulness techniques is really important. It's really important to grow into the person that we want to be. It's really important to switch off of autopilot and switch on conscious living. And this ties in nicely with the last two episodes we've done over the holiday period in terms of that one just around Christmas time on reflecting on the year that was and accepting all those mixed emotions coming in, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and identifying what they are, naming what they are so that we can then tame them, particularly taming them if they're not so great, if they're things that are dragging us down. But it's also around reflecting on our support systems and the ways that we can connect in with others and ourselves during a holiday period. And then in the episode just after Christmas, we talked about values and how tuning into our values can help us to know who we really are, but then also make better decisions or make difficult decisions or know where we want to go in life from a values-based perspective. And so today what we're going to do is, by using that reflective piece and also the values-based work that we did in the last few episodes, we're going to try and help you to gain clearer focus for what you want to achieve in 2024 and beyond as well. This is not just about 2024, this is about the rest of our lives, and you can do this over and over and over again. So the way that we're going to do it is to get into SMART goals and not so much think about the big goal that you want to achieve. That's really important, but also the little goals that you need to achieve along the way, because growth is a process. It's not like taking one step and you're on the top of a mountain. There's lots of little steps in between that we need to make in order to get to that top of the mountain. So SMART goals, what are they? I'm sure many of you have heard of SMART goals, particularly in workplaces. SMART goals are really big in workplaces, but also in schools and education systems as well. But let's go through what it is. So SMART goals are specific, they're measurable, they're achievable, they're relevant, and they're time-based. Sometimes you might hear the relevant being realistic as well. So the goal might be realistic. So for example, are you going to fly to the moon this year? Well, it's probably not really realistic unless you're an astronaut. But relevant is a good way to reframe that word, and it's relevant to us as well. So if you are an astronaut and you're going to go to the moon, that's relevant and it's realistic as well, but not so much for the everyday Joe like you and me. So SMART goals help us to identify what we want to achieve and know that it's actually possible. It's a smart goal. It's smart. It's not dumb, it's smart. And so, an example in my life could be the following. And I'm going to use my goal of sobriety as an example. If you've been following me the last few months, you'll know that I've kicked the drinking habit in August of 2023. And I made my goal of getting to the end of 2023 with no beer. And I'm starting 24 with a new focus on it. So let's go through that as an example. So my specific goal for 2024 is I want to continue being sober in 2024. And I can measure this by whether or not I drank alcohol in 2024. It's a pretty easy one to measure. Did I or didn't I? It's also achievable. And I've got a few dot points as to why this is achievable for me. I know it's achievable because I've been doing it since August 2023. I've been doing it. So this is not something new that I've started. It's something that I've actually started a while back and I just want to continue. So I know that I can do it. I got through my initial goal of going from August to 31st of December, and now I'm kicking off 2024 with that momentum. I know it's achievable because I know I can replace alcohol for other things. And one thing for me in 2024 is maybe being okay to a non-alcoholic beer. This has been a bit of a mindset thing for me going, if I'm trying to be sober and I can't have a non-alcoholic beer, well, I can because there's no alcohol in it. So that's something that I'm going to work through in 2024 and maybe try some non-alcoholic beers. Because I do like beer. I like the taste of it. I just no longer want the alcohol effects from it. And the last dot point for whether or not this is achievable for me is that I know how good I feel without alcohol. Since giving up alcohol, I've had a lot more energy. I'm a lot less anxious. I'm connecting in with some new networks. I have this confidence about me. And this is not just about giving up alcohol. This is about all the other work I'm doing as well. It just coincides with the same time that I gave up alcohol. And so I want to keep this going. This is why this is now a new goal for me in 2024. I know how good I feel without alcohol, and I want to keep this going. Saying these types of things to ourselves over and over again reinforces why we're doing these things. It's not just a one and done type of thing. It's an everyday type of thing. It's also relevant. So this is the R in SMART goals. It's relevant because I'm on a wellness journey and it aligns with my personal values. And one of my values is wellness, being well. So physically, mentally, emotionally, being connected in with other people. I'm on a wellness journey. I'm done being the survivor. I'm in thriver mode. I'm thriving without alcohol. That's huge for me to say. I love saying it. It's so cool. And the old version of me would never have thought that was a cool thing to say because alcohol was so intertwined with my identity. It's what people knew me for, but not anymore. And the last thing that measures this goal as a SMART goal is that it's time-based. So it's in 2024. My initial idea was just to get through August to December of 2020. That was the time for that goal because it was a short period. I didn't know if I was going to get through that period when I first set that goal, but linking it in with, say, my values has helped me drive that. And seeing the changes that I've had have helped me get through to that first goal of 31st of December 2023. And so this year, now I know that 2024, there's 366 days in this year because it's also a leap year this year. So happy birthday to all the February 29 babies out there. So it's time-based, but I know that I can go longer now. I've done that short stint. I'm over the 100 days, for example, over even more than 100 days. And this year I'm going bigger with that time. I'm going the full year alcohol-free. And that's exciting for me. I've never gone this long without alcohol since I was about 15 or so, maybe even younger. So that's helpful to know how many days are involved in this goal because I can look at my calendar and each day, if I needed to, I could cross off each day as I've achieved it. That's those little steps, crossing off each day as you're achieving something. These are the little steps that will get me from the bottom to the top of the mountain. Now, SMART goals, they're really useful if they're linked in with the work that we've done before. So think about the last 2 episodes we've done. If they're linked in with that reflection of what we did at the end of last year. The reason we set goals is because we want to move forward. We want to achieve something. We want to move forward maybe from a feeling, a thought, an issue, a challenge that we've had. We want to be better or grow or achieve something that we didn't think was possible. And there's so many different examples of what that could be. We want to maybe achieve getting a new job or achieve studying for a new career or achieve getting pregnant with our partner or achieve some more money coming in by getting a different job or a side hustle or whatever it is. Or maybe we want to achieve happiness because last year wasn't so great. We want to achieve something different that's come up for us through our reflection that we did at the end of last year, through that holiday period. Another example might be, imagine you got to Christmas and you've been drinking and you say to yourself, I'm done with drinking. I'm sick of the hangover feeling that I get. I just want to feel better. So having a smart goal around this reflective moment, which is the same reflective moment that I had back before August last year, is a great way to help you start your journey, start a journey of sobriety. The next is linking it in with a value. So we've got the reflective piece that's telling us why this is important for us, what we want to change, but linking it in with a value is a way to give this change fuel and purpose. So knowing what our personal values are can help us to identify whether or not this is a smart goal that's going to stick. It'll also help us keep on track. So remember that values are like a life compass. They help us to make difficult decisions. And obviously, if you're in this moment and you're trying to have a New Year's resolution or a smart goal, you're maybe making a difficult decision. For example, wanting to get sober is a difficult decision. I know because I've done it. It took me 25 years to get to that point. It took a lot of critical self-reflection and a lot of people linking me, my identity, with alcohol to make me realize this. It took a lot of alcohol and the hangovers and the anxiety that comes from that to realize that this is not the way that I want to live my life. I want more energy. I want to be happy. I want less anxiety. I want to be grounded with my kids. I don't want my kids to get to a weekend and say, Daddy, are you drinking today? That sucked. That sucked for me, hearing that kind of thing come out of my sons and my daughter's mouths. And drinking is a big one, and it's a common one that we have in these New Year's resolutions, is that maybe we've overdone it over the holiday period. And I get it. There's a lot of pressure in today's society to drink, particularly Australian culture. Alcohol is the only drug in the world where we're questioned if we're not drinking it, if we don't want it. I've been there, and I've been that person who's questioned other people. Oh, why aren't you drinking? Just have one, just have two. Come on, we're all drinking. We're all having fun. No, we weren't having fun. I was actually masking serious mental health conditions. I was masking loneliness. I was masking the true, authentic version of myself. And so I know that giving up alcohol is hard. But also think about it like this. It doesn't have to be alcohol related. I know I've talked about alcohol in here, but it could be wanting to lose weight. It could be making some serious decisions about what you eat or how much you exercise or what type of exercise you do. Maybe you can't exercise and maybe you need to really focus on your diet. Losing weight, a lot of it is about what we eat and what we put into our bodies. So maybe it's about treating your body like a temple, using affirmations to reinforce why you're doing it as well. It's really important and can help us keep on track. So by linking your SMART goal with your reflection that you did maybe in the holiday period and your personal core values helps make the SMART goal even stronger. It's not just about waking up on New Year's Day and going, oh, you know what, I want to lose 10 kilos and feel great and look good for the end of summer. It's about actually linking in with the negative thoughts that may be coming up for us, or even positive thoughts that are coming up for us. Maybe we're on a wellness journey. We just want to keep that going. So link it in with that. If we're already on the wellness journey, we could be at step 1 or step 100. It doesn't matter. Use that as fuel. Use it as meaning. Use it as purpose. Use it to drive yourself. And then bringing it up with values is just as important. As I said, I keep talking about values. Values are a mindfulness-based tool to help keep us on track. So making these hard decisions is really difficult unless it's driven by things like values. It's driven by reflection. It's propelling us towards a smart goal that we want to achieve. And if this doesn't work, maybe you've tried it, maybe it's not quite working, it's not gelling. This is a moment where you go, okay, maybe I need to reach out to some other support networks. Maybe it's just getting a friend or family member to help keep me accountable. It's bringing them into what your SMART goal is and saying, hey, can you help me stay on this task? Maybe it is crossing it off on a calendar every single day that you've achieved that goal. Maybe it's to get you moving and you want to walk 10,000 steps every day. That's why I got my watch. It tells me how many steps I've done, and I've identified that maybe 10,000 is a good target that I want to achieve every single day. It's another wellness goal, and it's aligned with my values as well. But if that family or friend doesn't exist, or maybe they can't provide that kind of support, therapy is a great place to help you set goals and stay accountable. In fact, this is what a therapy goal is. Whenever you go into a therapy clinic and you start with this, they ask you, what's your goal of being here? This formulates what's called a therapy goal. So if you go in and say, I want to stay sober or get sober, that becomes a therapy goal. So the tools and strategies that the therapist then brings into those sessions are supposed to align with that goal of helping you achieve what you want to achieve. But therapy is a great place to work out what's specific about this goal, what's measurable, what's achievable, what's relevant, and the time associated with that. Therapy doesn't have to be that you're broken and need drastic help to overcome big issues. It can be about goal setting and capacity building. In fact, it should be. It's about bringing you up, filling your cup, helping you identify the things that light you up in your life. And so Mindful Men can help. If you're in Australia and you're thinking about, okay, well, this sounds really good and I want some extra help with that, jump onto the Mindful Men website, www.mindful-men.com.au. Book yourself in a session and say, hey, I'm just struggling with working out what a SMART goal is, but I kind of have this idea. Can you help me map it out? And that's what I can do as a therapist. And if you want to, I'd also implore you to come into the Mindful Men community group on Facebook and share your SMART goals in there, providing it's not too personal and you're okay to share it. Maybe go in there and we talk about mindfulness techniques every single week and connect with other men and go, you know what? I'm trying to achieve this. As a community, can you help me stay on task? Community can help you do that. Being part of men's groups can help you do that. Being part of a little clique of people who are similar in their mindset can help you stay focused. They can keep you accountable. They can keep you holding that responsibility for yourself to grow into that person you want to be. And so that's it for today. It sounds very simple, and it is actually quite simple. It's a bit of homework, and many of us don't like homework. It's sometimes necessary for us to break out of autopilot and into conscious living. So to recap the holiday period sessions that we've had, it's around reflecting on what's been happening in the last week, month, 6 months, year, working out what's worked, what hasn't worked, and working out kind of, what my support networks are like. That's really big. Reflection is critical to personal growth. Then it's about tuning into values. What values do you have? And why are these values important to you? How can you tick off those values every single day to start filling your cups up more regularly? Don't wait until it's empty and there's holes in the bucket. Patch up those holes and fill up the bucket every day with values. Use your values to make difficult decisions. And then bring both of those, the reflection and the values, into a SMART goal to kick off 2000 with greater focus. Doing these tasks brings about the greater focus. When we just start the new year and we just have a goal without any values behind it or reflection behind it, this is where it fizzles out. There's no focus for it. In fact, it sticks in the brain fog. We get overburdened or just struggle to get things going. But bring in the purpose, bring in the reflection, bring in the values behind it, and this will help your SMART goals stick in 2024. So on that, I'm going to leave you to the rest of your holiday period. I hope that you have had a happy holiday period in the end of December, and you've started off January 2024 with greater focus, or you're about to start off with greater focus. I hope your friends, family are all keeping well, that you're safe, you're happy, you're healthy, or if you're not any of those things, that you're working towards a better version of you and you're connected in with your support networks. Well, that's all for today. My name is Simon Rinnie, and until next time, stay mindful.